happy to be here with you and Fernando and our friends on YouTube and Discord.
Thank you so much for being here today. Do you have questions that you would like to ask before we start? Fernando, ideas or questions, Rodrigo, before we start?
Uh, if I may, just
Yes.
to put one little. Yesterday we could converse, but we couldn't record because I was talking through the mobile.
Mm-hmm.
But I was reading Isaac Luria, and he speaks that Jacob. We were looking at the part of where Jacob meets the Pharaoh, right, and blesses the Pharaoh, and he speaks that his life was few and evil, right?
Yes, true.
And if I remember well, Jacob speaks that he had 130 years, right?
When he met Pharaoh, he was
Yes.
100. Yes, true, correct.
Correct?
Yes, correct.
And Ravi Zakluria speaks that these 130 years refers to the time that Adam was alone, 130 years scattered from Eve.
True.
And he speaks that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all the three was a reincarnation or a ratification of the primordial Adam, that Abraham came to correct the sin of idolatry, that Isaac came to correct the sin of murder, and Jacob came to correct the sin of the sexuality.
True.
This time that he was alone, that Adam was alone. And we were talking about these ideas, and I was thinking about this correction inside of us, like how can we correct the sin of idolatry, murdering, that they came the ideas of the murdering of Hevel that we often do, right? We often kill Hevel inside of us. And the sin of sexuality, that is the sin of not relating with others, maybe the sin of not being able to be in a face-to-face relationship. But it came a bunch of classes at the same time, and ideas, and I am sharing with you, expecting to know what you think about this idea.
Thank you for your question. And I was thinking about it once you mentioned the correction of the Yod, the letter Yod. But first I would like to say good morning to Felipe and to friends on YouTube. Yes, there is a relation, and it's good that let's pop into the whiteboard and see what we can write in terms of correction. I hope that you can see on YouTube the whiteboard. The fathers, the patriarch, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were correcting, so to speak, the mistake of Adam, or the sin. It depends of how do we look at it. I would like to write it here on the board. They corrected in a way three aspects of the mistakes, or the three dimensions of the mistake. We have Abraham, let's do it like here on the tree, so to speak. So Abraham was correcting idolatry in Hebrew. Let's not go into the Hebrew because it's many things and many terms. Let's just write the names Isaac and Jacob. They were correcting three things. Avodah zarah is idolatry. When people relating to any kind of power as absolute, which is not the infinite, this is idolatry. So this Avodah Zarah, Abraham was correcting because he broke all his father's statues. So Abraham was correcting this. if you can help me with the idolatry, I can write it. Because at the moment, I'm not sure that I'm writing good English. So if you...
Let me see. It is opening for me. Idolatry is IDOLATRY.
And after the R, I-A-Y?
The Greek I, the Y, I think. I don't know in English.
The Greek I.
Yeah, the Y. Yes.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So thank you so much. So we have here Avodah Zarah who corrected Abraham. Also Shelton is here. Good morning. We're very happy to host you. Idolatry, Abraham corrected because he was breaking his father's statues and he was leaving the father and all of those steps on the way to be free men. It's about freedom and liberty, basically. Shvichut damim is bloodshed. Bloodshed or murdering. This is Isaac. Yes. So, can you help me with this? How did you say bloodshed, or what do you call it?
Murdering. The sin of murder.
Can you spell it for me, please? Or Shelton is here.
MURD.
Yes.
ER. Murder.
MURDER.
Thank you. So Isaac was correct. MURDER.
That's correct.
Excellent, excellent. So Isaac was correcting shvichut damim, bloodshed or murdering, and Jacob was correcting gilui arayot. How do we say when people have this incest? Or Jacob was correcting this part, or sexuality.
Sexual sin, sexuality, maybe. Yes.
Yes, Jacob. Let's call it SEXUAL, sexual. This is it. Did I write it right?
Incest or sexual?
SEXUAL.
Sexual, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So, in a way, we have like 3 dominant points. So, those 3 dominant points are coming or expanding from the letter Yod. When Abraham came 20 generations after Adam, he corrected this idolatry. What was the sin of Adam Rishon, or the error, the mistake? Once he could capture that he understands or have the notion of knowing something, he thought that he is God on earth. So this is idolatry. When a person thinks that he is the maker of his life, self-made man, so to speak, when he thinks that he is governing other people and nature, and he holds or is owning business and people and slave, this is basically it. But first, before people have other cars and businesses, they think that they're God on earth. Yes, they have it all. So this mistake, or this, let's say, call it, I don't like the word sin, but this mistake Abraham corrected, because the Bible says Behi Bar'am, those are the generations of the heaven and earth, and the Hey is little. He made himself little, not big as I know and so on, but he made himself little. Behi Bar'am, Behi Bar'am, with a little Hey, I don't go as I am a conqueror. Behi Bar'am. So Abraham corrected this. Now the bloodshed corrected Isaac. How did he corrected it? By
self-sacrifice.
Yes, on Moriah Mountain. He was 37 years old. Excellent. He was 37 years old when he was taken to the Mount Moriah. This is the valley of Abel in Hebrew, Hevel. So to bind it, and what is the, how do you say, symbolic act in binding Isaac on the mountain is to bind not just Isaac as a child of Abraham, but to bind the ed, to bind the steam, to bind the mystery, to bind the secret. The secret is part of the infinite. Do we understand the symbolic act? Not just sacrificing. It's not about sacrificing. It's something much, much, much inner than this. People tend to think, okay, father sacrificed his son. This is external. The inner aspect of binding of Isaac is binding the mists. Do we understand?
Yes.
Yes. Abel, 37. And we have 7 mists in our face.
Yes, yes, the heaven.
Yeah.
I understood it. The idea it's beautiful because I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but just to see if I understood right, it is like it is in the story of Isaac. The Hevel is how can I say this? The Hevel, the 37, is present in his age, right? So
Excellent.
it is present, and also the ed, that is the mist, is the same that Hevel is binding the 1 to 4. So he's saving Hevel
Yes,
in
yes,
this
yes, yes.
beautiful. Thank you.
Kohelet, Ecclesiastic says, Hevel Havalim, Hevel Havalim, Amar Kohelet. Kohelet is Solomon, but the English Bible translates it as vain and vanity. No, Hevel Havalim, Amar Kohelet. Kohelet is the name of Solomon, Ecclesiastic. Hevel Havalim, Amar Kohelet. Hevel Havalim, Hakol Havel. It's not like the English Bible says everything is in vain. It's opposite, because Hevel is 137, let's call it 1. Havalim is 2, 37. Hevel is another 1. Havalim, mists, are 2, and then we have another Havel. So we have 7 mists or 7 kinds of eds or mist in this Ecclesiastic, and 37 double 7 is 259 plus 1, 260, 10 times the tetragrammaton. This is why it was so important to bind Isaac, to bring the creation. Creation is the sun. A sun cannot appear in time. A sun appears in time and space. So the sun thinks he separate creation. From this come idolatry. But Abraham already corrected the idolatry. And now comes, we have to correct the son, so to speak, Isaac, and to bring creation to its first format plus correction. So when he's 37, he is binded with the mist that is inside of him, because his external organ are being caught, meaning with rope, so to speak. The hands, this is external organs. Please make this distinction. Hands, arms, legs are external organs, while the mist in the face is inner. This is why it is so important to bind Isaac, to return the creation to the Creator. Don't think that what you see like a tree. You think, or we think, we see a tree and the branches, we think the tree has its power of its own. No, there is a mist that comes from the roots of the tree and all of this beautiful orchestra with the sun and everything that makes the tree grows. Do we understand this concept, first of all?
Yes.
Yes. So we understood how Isaac is correcting the killing of Abel.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the second correction. And the third correction is what happened with Jacob. Do we understand the correction of Jacob, or shall I repeat it? how Jacob corrected the third component of the text. What was the story of Jacob? Let's start. This is the most complex
Yes.
correction, because it is so complex, because it's 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. This is a very complex mistake to correct. So what was the story of Jacob in short?
It starts with his the blessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the going to his uncle Laban and marrying and having to work 7 years and 7 years to marry with Rachel and Leah, and then the returning to his brother and the correction with his brother, and after we have also this going down to Egypt. So we can see that Jacob is moving all the time, and we can see that he has this gift of relationship, right? Because he can relate with Laban, he can relate with Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, Bilhah. He is the connector. He is the one who can connect everything.
Yes. This is great what you just said, because though he's moving all the time, he finds himself in different sets or systems. He can always relate. Yes.
Add to what,
Yes, Shelton, please.
to add to what you said, Abraham, Fernando, that Jacob also had a dream as he was afraid, fleeing his brother Esau. He had a dream. We saw angels descending and ascending, and also during this same time period, he wrestled with the messenger of God, and he had tip was was dislodged, and he had his name changed from Jacob to Israel.
Yes. Yes, I think that from what Shelton is saying, also we can see that he relates not only on the horizontal way with people, but also in the vertical way, because he has the story of leather and the story of the meeting with the man that is the Malach, right, that came from Esav or something, the man who meets him in the Yabok River. So maybe we can say that he can connect not only on the horizontal, but also in the vertical way. E.T., we cannot hear you.
Hello, can you hear now?
Yes.
Fernando? Can?
Yes,
Is it
now we
better?
can.
Yes, thank
Can.
you. So, though he's the second son, he's born as a twin. He's the second. He's holding his brother Hill. He's named after Hill, so he was born second. He is the 22nd generation from Adam. He is born second as a twin, and he is the 22nd generation from Adam, because between Adam and Abraham, the 20 generation, Isaac is the 21st, Jacob is the 22nd. Please pay attention, like the 22 letters. And all his life will be imprint in this, print. Because he's born second, he is named after the hill, which is, we have two. Yes, he is married, and this is the meaning of Gilui Arayot, to marry sisters. This is something that the Torah, or later when Moses will give the Torah and the laws, this is something the Torah does not accept, to marry sisters. But not just it's not just was to marry two sisters, but each sister had her maid, so he married four. So in a way, his correction, though his life were expanding on the matter, on the horizontal axis, he also dealt with the vertical, with the angel, with the changing, so to speak, his name, struggling, and so he overcame the horizontal, and he was having very, very thick horizontal band, so to speak. Do we understand this perspective?
It is amazing. And I think that he was scattered from Joseph for 22 years as well. I'm not sure, but I think that this is correct.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Do you remember we had a conversation about 1 week ago, maybe more, that you mentioned that those three things are the three things that men in general have to deal in their lives? Do you remember this conversation? The knowledge. Yeah, you remember that?
Yes, I can remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard it also in Portuguese. Yes, there are three dimensions. This is to remember the three dimensions that men are dealing in their lives. Do you remember their name?
Yes.
Relating to Yesod, to Yesod, that
To
Fernando.
Yesod and to the Yod in the Yesod. This is it. This is the Yod in the Yesod. The Yod is the wisdom. So let's see. So the Yod in the Yesod, I write it in this way that we should be able to relate to the Yod, because the Yod can expand to three dimensions, because the Yod has always it has three crowns on it. I don't want to go into this language, but the Yod can expand to three dimensions. It can become can become a vessel. So what are, so to speak, the challenges of men that are coming from the Yod, Fernando?
It is related with power,
idolatry,
sexuality,
power, Abraham. You see, I wanted last week to write all of this, and I was thinking how to bring it, and then you brought it as a question. Very good. Abraham. Yes, and what is the second?
Money, right, and sexuality.
This is financial.
And not, sorry, it is power, knowledge, and sexuality. This was the three that we took.
Knowledge. Right. You see?
Yes.
So, in a way, we find in many, many laws, midrashim, that the patriarchs, the fathers, corrected Adam's sin, but they also kept the Torah before the Torah was given. How? We see according to the way they lived their lives. Not in terms of historical story, but the footprint that we find mathematically. Question so far?
Oh, it is amazing.
If, and this is the condition, if humanity manage to take care of those three components, the triangle of the Yod, then they have what?
The Yod, yes, the secret.
Yes, if people are managed to deal with all of these, to take care of this, to tame the animal, to tame the beast that comes from the Yod, because it's a potential, so the potential can to tame the beast, then humanity has the secret. So let's yes, Fernando?
No, it is beautiful. It is.
But here's the catch. What is the catch? What is so interesting about the Yod that everybody wants to have power, knowledge, and the power of sexuality? So it is. There is a term in Hebrew which is called Or HaChaya, the vitality light. Or Chaya. Or Chaya. Literally, it means the animal light or the animated light. But I would like to draw the tree and explain why everybody's dance around this yod and around this power all the time. I would like to explain what humanity is so troubled. We have the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton. The lower, the Malchut, is Nefesh. The Vav is the Ruach, spirit. The Hey is Neshama, soul, above our head. And then we have the Yod is Chaya. What is Chaya in Hebrew?
Life.
Life and living. And above we have crown, which is infinite. This is Yechidah, unity, and has the same value like Hevel. Can we catch it? Yechidah. This is 9. And this is how much we have? 28?
28.
37. Yechidah.
Yes.
Maybe I made a little condensed drawing. Let's try to make it. So the Keter or unity is always concealed. It's almost nothing. Infinite is nothing. There is no holding in it, no capturing in it, nothing. It's nothing. You cannot capture. But the first, let's say, glance of life that comes from Keter comes to the Yod, comes to wisdom. Chokhmah or Abba. And here is the big temptation, because from nothing, from infinite, comes something like a spark of fire, which is reviving all of us. Some people are not aware that this kind of fire or spark need to be tamed. So they let this fire expand in all directions and they become out of bounds. They hunger for power, for knowledge, for everything which is not in their place. Because this is the first little spark that makes us all alive. So some people, it's like the story of Adam in the Garden of Eden, are not aware that we need only the potential of the fire. So some people cannot tame the fire or the beast or the Or Chaya, the little spark that makes us live. They cannot tame it, so the beast takes over them. So they are being controlled by the fire. A person who has a great urge for power, he is not governing his own life. The power of the Chaya, the animal part, is holding him as a prisoner. Do we understand that?
Yes.
So this is basically humanity in a nutshell. This is it. This is us. This is us.
I like it. Thank you. It is
Most welcome.
amazing.
Eti,
Yes?
so how can I say, since after Abraham and Isaac and Jacob rectifying these sins, let's say the idolatry, the murder, and the sexual, it's necessary that each of us do the same, how can I say, the same job or the same task, because we need to do our individual rectification. It's not enough that Abraham and Isaac and Jacob have rectified the Adam's sin, but it's necessary that each one of us do the same with these odds that Fernando mentioned, the odds in Yesod, and rectify this wish for power and knowledge and sex, there is, how can I say, an individual rectification, right?
Yes, yes. Because in each and every one of us, there is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In each and every one of us. So each and every one of us is requested to leave the house of his father, Lech Lecha, from, yes? Me'artzecha, from your country, Mimoledetcha, homeland, the house of the father. Each and every one of us, in a way, has this map, roadmap, to go from those perspectives that we grew upon. We are not aware that as children, each and every one of us was a child. As a child, we observe a lot of human behavior around us. Parents, core families, bigger families, friends in school, and so. We are not aware of what we observe, what we take in as influence. We're not aware because we are in this water. But let's say the hope is that when we try to grow spiritually, is that we shall look at it and see this is not absolute truth. We tend to accept those things that we just were passing in time and just got, let's say, a glimpse of what is happening. Our mind is translated it as absolute truth, and moreover, as mythology. And this is it. So what we need now is to replace this mythology that we have is conquered in us as children or juvenile, what we collected through our way as absolute, and first to relativize it, and then to relate to the real mythology. Do we understand?
That's why I believe that I can understand that. At least, how can I say, in the concept I can understand, but as I always said, it's the challenge is living like this, is put in practice. This is the big challenge.
Is to question, not to take our mind somehow looks at things that is absolute because we experience them, our body experienced them in time, our collective mind collected it through the way as absolute. And this is what closes down, put walls around us. And the intention is opposite. The intention is that we shall grow. Questions or thoughts?
Thinking about the spark, light, and I was thinking that the light spark talks about the infinite one, and I was thinking that these these are reflections of the God. These are reflections of the infinite.
Can you repeat, please, Shelton? Because the first part I did not hear.
That the reflection, the light, the spark is a reflection of the infinite. It's a manifestation of the infinite. It's not God, but it's a manifestation of God that created something out of nothing.
Yes,
God stands beyond
yes,
we
yeah,
refer to as the eternal. God stands beyond the eternal.
yes, yes. Thank you. Rodrigo, questions. Fernando, questions, thoughts.
I was looking at the whiteboard, right, at the end. I saw this painting of Jacob blessing his sons,
Yes,
and maybe the the capability to make a bless to bless things. Maybe is related with this mature man, this gadlut, this man that can express the word of God. I don't know.
Yes.
Could we relate this process of maturation with this blessing, this capability of to bless something?
Yes. Only a mature person, it's not about the age on paper, can bless. Because this is the essence of man. The essence of Adam is to bless. Philon writes about it a lot. Yes. Yes. Because the essence of blessing, beracha, I'll write it here. The value of beracha, blessing, is 227, like zachar, the one who remembers. And the one who remembers, meaning he's always in the tree of life, bohu, he's always blessing. One of not the signs of, maybe the signs that a person is grown inside of himself, it's not about the age on paper again, is the ability to bless, is the ability to appreciate. People can be 70, 90 years old and on paper, but they don't manage to express a gratitude. They cannot bless, they cannot wish. So on paper, they have some kind of a number. Do we understand this concept?
Yes. It is quite something.
If bracha, blessing, is 227, ha bracha, this is what God always promised them. Ha bracha, the blessing, ha bracha, plus 5, 227 plus 5.
232.
Plus the one who blesses.
And 233, the tree of life.
Tree of life. הברכה, כי שם ציווה השם את הברכה. The blessing, הברכה. The blessing is the tree of life. Questions or thoughts?
No, it is amazing. I wasn't expecting for going so deep with the first question, and I thank you so much.
You're most welcome. I just found a verse from Psalms which speaks about the blessing. 1 second. Psalms 133. Psalms 133. He explained the meaning.
Talking about the oil upon the head.
Yes, I'll bring everything. Yes. It's 133 verse 3. I'll bring the whole Psalms because it is great that we should read it. It's a blessing just to read these Psalms, and I'll copy it. 1 second, and I put it here on the whiteboard. 1, 2, 3. It's supposed to jump somewhere. Here it is jumping. 1 second. I moved a bit. 1 second. Who wants to read Psalms 133? Do you see the text?
Yes.
Who
I
wants
can
to-
read it.
Yes.
Or if you shout on Fernando,
You're most welcome.
Let me
Psalm
find the.
Yes?
go ahead. Go ahead, Charlton,
Shelton,
please.
Shelton, please.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to find the version that you have. So Psalms 133.
You can read all of it. It's only 3 verses. We shall focus on the third, but please read all of it because it's so beautiful. Do you have?
Oh,
Yeah?
I have it. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious oil upon the head, coming down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that cometh down upon the collar of his garments, like the dew of Hermon, that cometh down upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forever.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Because there, the Lord commanded the blessing. Please pay attention. The blessing. You see the letters, the blessing. Ha beracha. This is the tree of life. The blessing. The ability to bless. It's the meaning of the tree of life. The whole aim for us to be here is to bless. Ha beracha. Et ha-beracha or ha-beracha, basically it's 5 letters. 5 letters, ha-beracha, which is 232 plus 1 is 233, the tree of life.
And it is interesting because the book of Zohar usually speaks that this article, it, is related with Shekhinah, right?
Yes.
Maybe the blessing is the conjunction with this divine presence. It is the just yesterday in the yesterday conversation, Rodrigo was talking at night also about what you said.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
don't
can.
know.
I can.
Yes, now I can hear you. And we could say that the blessing, the baracha, is just, of course, when a person is connected with the tree of life, the blessing could represent this connection with the tree of life.
Yes. Yes. Because it has to do also with peace. A person who does not have peace cannot bless. Shalom says, in the Babylonian Talmud, we find that the vessel which holds the blessing is peace. If a person does not have peace, he cannot bless. The tree of knowledge, when people try to conquer, to have money, to have power, to have people, they're always in a struggle. So there is no peace, so they cannot bless. Yes, Fernando, did you say something? And Venus is writing. Fernando, Venus, can you?
Yes. Please continue with Venus after I can try to articulate what came to my mind.
Yes. Venus, can you please write, because I try to see sign as in. Can you please write another sentence, Venus, that I could connect, please? Questions so far?
I was just looking at it to complete what I was speaking before, is that I was looking that the article it, ha-baraha, the it in the book of Zohar is usually related with Shekhinah, with the divine presence. And so the baraha could be only a channel to the divine presence, you know. The one who is making a baraha is not making from himself. He's connecting with the divine presence.
Excellent.
And it connects what Rodrigo shared yesterday in our Zohar meeting. That was the theme of the class in the morning, about the presence of Jacob in the Potiphar's wife and Joseph episode, you know.
Yes.
We are not aware of the divine presence usually, you know.
It's correct.
But maybe the act of the blessing, the act of bless something, make this connection conscious, you know.
True. We ourselves are being awake while blessing, while being grateful, by showing gratitude to ourselves. You remember that once we looked into the root of curse in Hebrew. The root of curse in Hebrew is kalal, or 160. Without a zero, it's 16. The root of 16 is 4. So basically, when a person is sunk in the matter, in the 4, he cannot move to the potential. The potential is the one who blesses. The one who has the connection to the tree of life. He can, at the moment, it's not about the person, but at the moment there is a connection or awareness. Blessing is something which is occurring all the time. This is why Abraham was circumcised at the age of 99. Why he was circumcised at the age of 99? Why? Who will tell? Open question to everyone. Why Abraham was circumcised at the age of 99 and not any other number? Why?
To open a space for Binah, that is 100.
True. To open a space for Binah, which is 100. Me'ah Amma. Very good. Very good. And the other thing is that 99 is the, how do you say, the way that a person needs to cross between heaven and earth. Shemaim, this is good what you say. It's excellent. Shemaim, heavens, is 390. Aretz, earth, earthly life, 291. To arrive from earthly life, as you mentioned, to connect to the Binah, to understanding, to infinite, there has to be a bridge of 99. So at the age of 99, he's been circumcised. A person arrives, like Weinreb says, until this age, and then the body goes, even if people continue to live 400, 500, 600 years, eventually the body perishes, the spirit continue. The spirit is a word. This is why he is circumcised at the age of 99.
It is amazing. It is just
The
one
distance
technical.
from earth to heaven is 99.
Yes, yes. What did you say?
The distance from earth, from Aretz to heaven, to Shamayim, is 99.
Correct. Correct.
I just opened the YouTube and to see what Venus wrote. I think that she is telling that the blessing overcome Yetzer Hara.
Yes, yes, excellent. Yes.
Yes, this is good because the Yetzer Hara is our egoistic side, right?
True, true.
But
Excellent.
one technical issue is that Dan Murphy wrote that he cannot see the whiteboard, and me neither. I just opened on YouTube. It is for me. It is not possible to see it.
You don't see it?
It is like it is borrowed. It is. I don't know. It is cloudy.
Like it's frozen. Like you don't see the board at all.
No, it is not frozen, but it is not clear.
It is not.
We cannot see the font. Yes, it is cloudy.
It is cloudy
somehow
because it's on 350%. 1 second, it's very big. Maybe. Okay. Now you can see better.
For me.
It's okay. Can you see better? Because oops. Okay, maybe 1 second. I wonder.
No. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if the friends can.
Please.
For me, it's okay for me here.
No, so it's fine. But since I read what Dan wrote, I thought that was general. So maybe it's mine, and then I don't know.
It's okay. Now you can see. Is it better? It was on 350%.
Now I can see it.
Thank
it was
you,
mine.
No, because I saw also here on my my screen, it took magnifying glass, and it showed the board of 350%, like 3 times fold plus, and now it's only on 50%, 47. So now it's clear, I hope.
Okay. Thank you, Eti.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping with YouTube, because at the moment part of me is at the board in conversation, and I'm not all the time is able to comment everything which is happening on YouTube. So thank you for helping me. I appreciate that. Fernando, questions? Rodrigo? Felipe? Shelton? Questions, thoughts?
Just one thought, Eti. In this aspect of the Beraha.
Yes.
I was looking at the words that came, just one mathematic hint. It's beautiful, this word, and we know that is the word of the beginning of the Torah. That's the word that causes Torah to begin with Bet. And Fernando was saying about the link between Binah and Malchut, and in this word we can see 2 Hes, one before the word and one after the word, and it just came to me as Beracha, Barak, the three core letters. They are just like this Vav connecting the 2 Hes. Yes.
True.
And also something beautiful. There are the value is 222. It's like 222. 3 times 2. If we sum up this 2, we get 6 as Vav, as Zerampin or Jacob. And something else I tried to calculate it, and it was beautiful, because if we divide this 222 by 6, which is the 6 spheres of emotional spheres and so that connect, we get the 37, which we were talking about, this Hevel, this team. So it's really beautiful that everything connects in this realm of numbers and so.
This is excellent. Abel, Mist, Ed. Thank you. And
I
if
was thinking about.
yes, Shelton.
I was thinking about the as we've been discussing that the angel spoke to Abraham after the sacrifice of Isaac. That the angel said to Abraham in verse 15 and 16. He says, "By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, because thou hast done this thing and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast hearkened to my voice." And I was thinking, one, that Abraham was blessed because he hearkened to the voice of God. But secondly, Abraham was also blessed because he was intended to be a blessing to others, even the nations of the earth. So I thought that was interesting. We've been talking about blessings.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Felipe, thank you, Shelton. Just to connect to what Felipe says about blessing, 222 divide by 2, because God is always in the middle. It is 1, 1, 1. The value of Aleph. So we have Aleph, unity in the heavens, and unity here on earth. Do we see this? Is it graspable what I just said, or not really?
Yes. It's one above and one below.
Mirroring the unity, yes, in and out, or above and below. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Questions or thoughts before we seal today? Fernando, Rodrigo, Shelton, Venus.
This is just beautiful, because it makes me think about this double aspect of the Vav as well. As we get 222, it's like this 2 times 111, right? So
Yes.
it also connects with the double aspect of the Vav. And so thank you so much.
Double Aleph. Double Aleph.
Double
It's
Aleph.
Yes.
Yes, and
Yes.
two in the power of 3, because we have 3 2s. So 2 in the power of 3 is 8. This is the infinite, because we have 2 2 2. So 2 in the power of 3. This is 8.
Yes.
It's infinite. You can take it to any direction that you want. Yes. Shelton.
I have a question before we close. Yesterday, you said that Joseph was 17 when he was when he went into Potiphar's house and when he was enslaved. What was his age when he became part of the Egyptian? When he became part of the Egyptian economy, when he became a leader in Egypt, when he was assigned by the
Pharaoh. What was his age then, and what is the connection between that 17 number and the age that he was when he became the leader in Egypt?
Thank you for the question. Just following what Fernando said this afternoon or morning, he was 17 and he did not see his father, Fernando, how many years? Is Fernando here?
He stayed away from Jacob 22 years, right? But
So it is true. Now, very good. 17 plus 22,
39.
39. With
Hava.
yeah, 39. 1 second. 39 plus, put a 0 as a potential. What do we have? Shammai.
Yes.
By the way, 39 is the value of the tetragrammaton with 3 letters of the tetragrammaton, Yahu, with the filling of Aleph, Yod, He, and Vav, with the filling of Aleph, the 3 letters of Yahu. This is 39. Like the value of Tal. Dew. So he can influence, like you say, he was governing Egypt, he could influence everyone. He could give everyone. And also the dew comes from the heavens, so you see. Funny.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
It was so fast, Eti. Thank you so
great
much.
Session. Thank you very much,
Thank
Eti.
you. It's your participation that makes it great. Your participation makes it's excellent. This is your participation. So
Thank you so much, Eti. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, everyone. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. See
Shalom,
you tomorrow.
shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.